From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
This is a WUFT News Update. I'm Ethan Curtis.
And I'm Daniella Sevares. Thank you for joining us. Gainesville holds a groundbreaking ceremony for an East Side housing project. In 2019, the city donated 11 lots to Habitat for Humanity. The pandemic initially halted the plans, but as WUFT's Kendall Brandt shows us, the project is back on track and about to change lives.
I have dreamed of this moment since I was a little girl, but didn't think I was going to be able to reach it.
Ashley Burke returned to Gainesville after serving in Iraq. Pregnant and on her own, Burke faced the challenge of being a homeless veteran.
I have dreamed of a home somewhere for my daughter.
Her dream will soon be a reality. The Alachua Habitat for Humanity and the city of Gainesville have partnered to build affordable housing in the Duval community.
There's a big need for affordable housing. We have a big affordable housing initiative, and this is going to 11 homes, first-time home buyers, so this will make a great impact here in East Gainesville.
Construction began today on Burke's future home in the neighborhood that she grew up in.
It's good to see, the city donating lots to Habitat for them to build up on this side of town.
Aaliyah Benson and her family
I'm speechless.
will also receive one of the 11 homes in East Gainesville.
We're excited for our kids to actually have a legacy for our kids to have a home of their own that will be safe.
In 8 months, Burke and her family will unlock the door to the home of their dreams.
It's more than just putting a house on a slab of land. They've taught me how to be a homeowner.
It's a gift Benson, Burke, and their families will continue to unwrap for ages. Kendall Brandt, WUFT News.
Each of the homes will be given to low-income, first-time homeowners. The project aims to add more affordable housing, encourage economic growth, and help neighbors build wealth.
A small plane crashed this afternoon on I-95 in Flagler County. The Highway Patrol says the pilot may have tried an emergency landing at the edge of the roadway before the plane hit trees and flipped over. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office says the 2 people on board were able to walk away with minor injuries and did not need to be transported to a hospital. The wreck forced a lane closure and backlogged traffic for hours. Starting today and possibly lasting 2 weeks, Florida's new election law is on trial in federal court. Chief U.S. District Judge Mark Walker is presiding by Zoom for participants, and he's letting observers call in to listen in. The League of Women Voters of Florida and the Florida Conference of the NAACP are among the plaintiffs who claim tighter rules will have the effect of putting minorities at a disadvantage. This case led to the UF controversy over whether faculty who research elections could be paid expert witnesses when it's a lawsuit against the state and they are state employers.
A veteran music teacher has been named the 2022 Alachua County Public Schools Teacher of the Year. Todd Eckstein is the Director of Instrumental Music at Lincoln Middle School. Eckstein has been teaching middle and high school band students since 1988. He will now go on to represent Alachua County in the Florida Teacher of the Year program.
Moderna announced today that the FDA has given full approval to its COVID-19 vaccine. Moderna shots have already been given to tens of millions of Americans under emergency authorization. Moderna CEO says it's a milestone for the company because it's their first product to be licensed in the U.S. The Pfizer vaccine was approved last year. The CDC says most people who took just a single dose of Johnson & Johnson should use Pfizer or Moderna for their booster.
There are new signs Russia could be gearing up for war in Ukraine. The U.S. believes Russia's troops near the border, which are supposedly just training, are now stocking up on blood and medical supplies. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
The U.S. ramping up pressure on Russia today on the world stage at a U.S.-requested meeting of the powerful United Nations Security Council.
We continue to urge diplomacy as the best way forward. But with Russia's continuing its buildup of its forces around Ukraine, We are ready no matter what happens.
The American ambassador to the UN warning of horrific consequences if Russia invades Ukraine.
We do not want confrontation, but we will be decisive, swift, and united should Russia further invade Ukraine.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are preparing what they're calling the mother of all sanctions to crush the Russian economy should it invade, promising the Russian people would be hit hard.
They will feel those sanctions, and it will create a great deal of unrest in Russia.
Despite massing more than 100,000 troops at Ukraine's borders and issuing bold security demands, Russia is denying it plans to attack and accusing the U.S. of stoking hysteria.
Our recognition of the facts on the ground is not provocative. The threats of action, if Russia's security demands aren't met, is provocative.
President Biden hosting the leader of Qatar at the White House today as the U.S. is seeking alternative energy sources to prevent a crisis if Moscow cuts off energy supplies to Europe, which relies heavily on Russian gas. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
It was a little warmer today, and I couldn't be happier.
That's a good thing because I was finally starting to run out of long sleeves. Let's go over to Julia Haley with the weather update. Julia?
Yes, it was a chilly weekend, but it looks like we should be seeing some warmer days ahead. Take a look at our campus cam, some clear blue skies with some light cirrus clouds outside. Currently feels like 67 degrees, and we have some southwesterly winds, which are helping to give us those warmer temperatures for this time of year. 67 for Bronson, 67 Ocala, 68 Palatka, and 68 for Stark. And of course, those southwesterly winds giving us a bit of a difference from what we saw yesterday. 14 degrees increase in Gainesville, 15 in High Springs, and 15 in Stark. So tonight we should be seeing our temperatures start in the mid 50s for 8 p.m. but by our morning and into about 6 a.m. we should be seeing some fog and some chance for partly cloudy skies. Temperatures sitting in the upper 30s for our morning forecast. Currently heating up in Gainesville and throughout north central Florida because of those southwesterly winds. So we should be seeing a pretty warm day ahead, starting in the mid 50s for our mid morning and ending in the lower 70s for our mid-afternoon. Sunny skies should be seen throughout all of tomorrow. So for Friday, we should be seeing our next cold front make its way through Gainesville. So this cold front is going to travel through the Panhandle and into Gainesville by Friday evening. So if you have any Friday evening outing plans, you should probably carry an umbrella or a rain jacket with you just in case if you experience some of those showers. But hopefully by the weekend, that cold front should make its way out of north central Florida, giving us some sunnier skies ahead and some cooler temperatures as well. On to our 6-day outlook. Tuesday through Friday, we should be seeing those temperatures a little bit above average in the upper 70s. And by Friday, we should be seeing that cold front make its way through Gainesville. So we will have some rain, but thankfully, by the weekend, that rain will dissipate and we will be seeing some partly cloudy skies with some lower temperatures due to that cold front. On to Jensen Young with sports.
Thanks for the weather update, Julia. The Gator men's basketball team is coming off of a huge comeback victory against Oklahoma State on Saturday. That game saw the Gators come back from 16 points down to the Cowboys to win by 9. One major positive was sophomore Niles Lane, who shined on defense after not playing for over a month. Head coach Mike White was thankful for the crowd's energy in the second half.
Crowd was great. Yeah, really appreciative. The crowd was a big factor, especially defensively. Second half, I thought our crowd was really good, and I saw Colin down there a couple times. He's really engaged. He's got great length too. It's easy for the crowd to see, right, when he's trying to get him hyped.
The Gators are now 13-8 on the season and will travel to Missouri on Wednesday. Moving to women's basketball, the Gators are coming off of a 12-point loss to number 1 South Carolina on Sunday. Florida entered that game on a 5-game win streak, all against SEC opponents. The Gators made just one basket in the first quarter and went into the second quarter down 19-3. Florida point guard Kiki Smith led the charge on the team's attempt to come back in the second half, scoring 22 points.
So we're a solution-based coaching staff. We're a solution-based team. And that's what we did. We tried different combinations and different sets, actions, but most of all just tried to get back to who we are.
That loss sets the Gators back to a record of 15-6. Next, they will host number 7 Tennessee on Thursday. Football fans saw 2 nail-biters on Sunday to determine this year's Super Bowl matchup. The Super Bowl will see the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Gator Nation is well represented with 5 former players across both teams. The Gators have kicker Evan McPherson, offensive lineman Fred Johnson, and defensive back Vernon Hargraves. The Rams have 2 wide receivers in Van Jefferson and Brandon Powell. Both championship games, like the divisional round last week, ended with a 1-possession victory. The Super Bowl will be in Los Angeles in 2 weeks' time when the Rams have the opportunity to be the 2nd team ever to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium. The Bucs became the first to do so last year. The Tallahassee Democrat and other sources are reporting the annual football game between the Gators and FSU next season will be moved to the Friday following Thanksgiving. The game typically takes place on Saturday, but will now be on Black Friday, perhaps in prime time. Florida has not yet confirmed these reports. That's your local sports news. Now back to the desk.
After receiving backlash from the public, Spotify is making changes. The streaming service will add content advisories before podcasts that discuss COVID-19. The move follows protests led by musician Neil Young over the spread of vaccine misinformation on the platform. Young and others have complained about the Joe Rogan experience. Rogan has apologized, saying he welcomes the labeling and will mix in some more mainstream guests when it comes to health and science. Thanks for keeping up with WUFT News on Facebook. I'm Daniella Sevares.
And I'm Ethan Curtis. That's our time for now, but your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org.